Hello everyone, welcome to another devlog. This time I'm just gonna do a quick showcase of just general mapping stuff. I'm not gonna do a deep dive in design or anything. This isn't really a tutorial on parallax mapping, so if you're looking for that, sorry. I'm just kind of showing off just what I have. So with this game, what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of get away from the RPG Maker feel and look and stuff, and I wanted to make something that really looked cool, really had improvements to play so that people don't feel that stiffness. And you know, one of the things that really sticks out is the grid-based, tile-based mapping. And as you can see, my character can move in very small increments and not be constrained to a grid. And it looks very smooth. I don't have 8-directional movement right now. That might be like a stretch goal thing to try to fix the plugins I have with an engineer, programmer, or whatever. And I've heard it said that people feel that 8-directional movement looks weird with only 4 directions of animation, but I think the pros outweigh the cons because this movement feels very nice indeed. So what I'm using for this movement is a plugin called Ultimate Movement. I'll link it in the description. And for parallax mapping, I'm using Orange Overlay. On top of that, Ultimate Movement comes with features for doing collision, or custom collision I should say. So you'll notice, you know, all these shapes are very cool and all, but if I'm constrained to the grid, well, what's the point? I am not constrained to the grid. I am capable of pixel perfect collision, although pixel perfect is usually not entirely accurate. I'm usually pretty close or close enough. It does take a lot of effort to get the collision to feel right. But you can see how I round off everything and just bounce off of that. And it feels more like an actual map rather than just a grid. And you'll notice this out of place switch I have over here, which is a secondary plugin that the Ultimate people developed that is the debug tool that's in the same link. Make sure you get this because this is going to make your life a lot easier, because trying to figure out this collision is a nightmare. And you see these like blue, how I have like, that's the collision, is the blue outlines. So being able to visualize the collision is extremely helpful for debugging and figuring out where the collision is and what's happening. You'll notice that I was mentioning it's not pixel perfect. Sometimes it gets pretty close. Like this right here, this particular thing, I got pretty close with my estimations. But then other places I have like just these dumb circles. This is kind of my own methodology of like, I just shove circles in places and it's, you know, you kind of round off of it. I think that mostly gets the job done. I think I'm kind of willing to be a little bit of shortcutty just because, well, first of all, this is extremely time consuming, editing all these tiles to have custom collision. But also this isn't an action game, and this isn't a game where you're going to be hugging the walls. There's no reason for you to take cover or do things like that. You know, it's not going to involve pixel perfect movement from the player, so it's not as important. So I'm just going to cap this off, I think, with just a little tour of the level so far. This level is about 75-85% done. I don't have the objects placed. You'll notice I can walk right through this. Oh, almost walk through this. Because I haven't finished the collision pass fully. There's obviously supposed to be objects in certain places for looting. That was the other thing I wanted to mention about not needing pixel perfect movement, is because the game isn't a pixel hunt. I actually highlight, as I mentioned in the first devlog, I actually highlight what is and isn't clickable. You don't have to pixel hunt, so you don't need perfect collision to make it less annoying when you're walking against everything, trying to click on everything. And yeah, that should be about it. I'll see you guys next time.